All right, I am back with episode 5. And now I think we're at the point where it's going to make a turn and we're going to get out of this dark zone of all of the explicit details. Now I get it. I understand why they are setting this up this way, because we need to understand why these boys took those people out the way they did. We need to we need a good understanding, and they gave us a good understanding, because now I'm at the point where I get it. I get why they did what they did and how they did it. I have no, sympathy, empathy for those parents. I have none. I did initially, even though there was like hints of some type of abuse, and I was just thinking verbal. I wasn't thinking the stuff that we found out since watching this. I get it. I'm almost to the point where I'm like, free them, but at the same time, they crazy. Just shit. I'm just gonna say it. Those boys are irreparably broken, especially Erik. In this episode, we see the extent of what he's gone through. We see his mental turmoil. We see, in my opinion, he can't be fixed. That's just my opinion. But yeah, this episode 5, is all about Erik. The camera is on him and on him only the whole time. And they are showing us just how broken he is as he go through the explicit details of what his daddy did to him. I'm not going to repeat what he said. I'm not going to. It's just too explicit. It's too disturbing. I will say that dad hated Erik. I think he was resentful of the fact that he now had to settle for Erik instead of Lyle. He wanted Lyle. Lyle was his favorite. It was known that Lyle was his favorite. And not only was he his favorite, he hated Erik. And why? He hated Erik, and the mom hated Erik too, because she was mistreating him as well, locking him in closets, locking him in the basement. I guess she was just mimicking the dad's actions or emotions. She was a piece of work. Um, the dad started, grooming Erik, about the same age as Lyle, around 6, and we find out that he is assaulting Erik up until the unaliving. So he's in high school at this point, right? So he was assaulting Erik for a longer period of time, and on top of that, he was torturing the boy. He was torturing the boy. Um, Erik was so confused, or he confused or did a mental scoring of Erik, because the only time he was nice to Erik was when he was assaulting him. So it confused Erik. He confused that time with his dad as being special, as being love, because that was the only time he was nice to him. Sick, and some sick stuff. When Erik would complain about pain, he would compare Erik to Lyle, saying, Lyle, why can't he be like Lyle? Lyle, I guess, knew how to take the pain or whatever. Um, yeah. And, that's all I'm going to say on that abuse stuff. Um, it's disturbing. It's very disturbing. Um, Erik explains that he does not know if he's gay, because he knows that his attraction to men is a result of what his daddy did to him. He knows that it's not normal. Um, we find out that he is actually, or he was, in a sexual relationship with the guy he met in jail. But this guy is now gone. So Erik is now alone. Lyle is gone. His boyfriend is gone. And he's left with his thoughts. And he is concerned about spending the rest of his life in jail with those thoughts. And we know how this ends. We know he's going to be in jail for the rest of his life. And it's so sad, because they never had a chance. Like, they were just so mistreated, so abused all of their life, only to end up in prison for the rest of their life. That is sad. The mom, my God, the mom. Apparently, she would get naked in front of Lyle. And when Erik said that, I'm like, hold up, please don't tell me that she was abusing them too. He did not say that. He basically said she would do it for, I guess, um, affirmation that she still looked good. I don't know if she was asking for feedback or she just wanted some unsolicited feedback. I don't know. He did not go into details on what that looked like. What did she require of Lyle when she got naked in front of him? But that was the type of stuff she would do. She would also inspect Erik's private areas for AIDS. Leslie was so shocked. She was like, why would she do that? Why? And Erik hesitantly had to tell her basically what it came down to. Erik had a sexual relationship with another boy when he was a teenager. And I think he did not say this, but I think the mom found out about it and assumed that Erik had AIDS. So she was concerned about her own health because she knew what the dad was doing with Erik. So now she was concerned that she would get it. He said she was extremely paranoid about AIDS. And it makes sense because we see her mention AIDS, and I think in episode 3 when they wouldn't let Lyle's girlfriend in the house, and the mom said she may have AIDS, which was so random, so odd. But now we see why in episode 5. She has this paranoia about it, but it does not move her to stop her husband from doing what he's doing. And Leslie even asked, "What about your mom? Did your mom try to do anything?" And Erik is trying to, justify her not. He mentions that the dad was abusive to her, even the fact that Lyle walked in on him ahhing her. So, but Leslie cut that short. She was like, "No, she could have done something. She could have done something. Um, you all deserve better." So throughout this episode, Leslie is not doing much talking. She's listening, and every now and then she would interject just to let him know that what you experienced was not normal. You have an option not to forgive this man. You shouldn't love this man, actually, because Erik is conflicted in his feelings for his dad. He still loves his dad. And he knows that screwed up because he knows what he did. He how it ultimately ended. And he's afraid of being in prison alone with those thoughts, having to deal with those thoughts of what he's been through. And I feel bad for them actually, because they've been in prison all of this time dealing with the trauma of what they experienced as children on top of being institutionalized. My God. I mean, I wouldn't wish that on anybody. Um, but yeah, that sums up this episode. I'm hoping now we get into the trial and all of the other dynamics around this whole fiasco, because they have perfectly laid out the abuse. And I'm on board. I mean, I'm on board in that I feel like it was justified. At the same time, I know at one point I was questioning how much of this is true. I believe it's all true now. I'm going to watch that documentary to see, what else is revealed that the series did not cover. But this series has been eye-opening to me because I was never curious about this story until now. Not curious about all of the abuse. I just want to know, is it as bad at this as this series is depicting it? Do they have some proof? Because I know in the series, Lyle said he told some people. I just want to know if that's true. Anyway, that concludes my thoughts on episode 5. If the next few episodes are a breeze, I will be back with the final 4. And I will talk to you then. Thank you for watching. Bye.